searching for this all my life. You're just my type. I've been looking for a boy who can treat me right. Your dark hair, but those eyes so bright.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another solo Spills episode of Scheananigans. I'm back in New York, and I've got some busy friends. It just didn't work out for any of them to join me in the studio, but I figured while I'm still here, I've got a lot to say. So let's get into it. So many questions came in about JonasCon. Oh my gosh, that was insanity yesterday. I swear, before I even got in my car from JFK, I've already done about 2,000 steps. Then throwing me into the American Dream Mall. I mean, my cardio yesterday was checked off very early. But it was so much fun. I met so many of you. I got to hang out with Big Rob. We walked around the entire mall. They had so many activations. I don't know if this was just a 20-year sort of celebration or if JonasCon is going to become a thing. But if it's going to become a thing, I definitely want to be a part of it because it was so much fun meeting all of you. My husband is texting me, and he's the only one who gets through Do Not Disturb, but we don't need any of that right now. So what was your favorite thing about JonasCon? Honestly, seeing the boys and re-meeting now Franklin, not Frankie Jonas anymore. That was an adjustment for me because when I did the show and just him growing up, that was Frankie Jonas, but now Franklin, which I love. It's a, little more of an adult twist to that name, but he is incredibly talented. I had never heard him perform before. I don't even know if I really knew he was doing music, but I met him again because I had met him when he was a kid on set. And that was so fun getting to hang out with him. Him and his girlfriend watched Vanderpump Rules. And he actually told me that he was at Nick's house and Nick was watching Vanderpump Rules, and he was like, you know that Scheana was the pizza girl, right? And Franklin said his mind was just absolutely blown once he put the pieces together. And I feel like that has happened for so many fans of the Jonas Brothers and also Vanderpump Rules. Yesterday, it was like worlds colliding and people putting the pieces of the pizza together. And they're like, oh my God, Scheana is the pizza girl. Which I gotta say, iconic. One of the most iconic things I've ever done. And I'm just so excited that we got to bring back this role 17 years later, 16 years later. I don't know. It was like 2009 when I did that, probably like 16 years ago. And it was such a fun job. It's actually one that I write about a little more at length in my book, because booking a job with the Jonas Brothers back then, my little sister was in junior high. I mean, they were at the peak Camp Rock, all of that. And then I go in, I saw a question came in and it said, how did you get the role on Jonas? Literally auditioned for it. Went into the room. There's like 30 other girls there who all very much look like they could be the pizza girl. And I did my thing. I guess I made him laugh. I got a call back and then I booked it. I was shocked because at the time of being the very young age of 23, I felt old because I'm older than all of the brothers. Nick was, I think, 16 at the time. And I'm sure a lot of the girls who were at the audition were probably teenagers themselves. But the 23-year-old booked it. And it was so much fun getting to not only act with them, but also have a song written about me, to do the music video. It was just absolutely iconic. And I met the wives yesterday, Danielle and Priyanka, and they both were like, oh my God, this pizza stuff, it's insane. And yeah, fans went crazy. Such a good time. Did the Jonas Brothers recognize you? Well, yes, because apparently some of them watch Vanderpump Rules. I think Kevin watches too. I feel like I remember him saying that when he was on Watch What Happens Live. So they not only recognized me, they invited me to be there, which was iconic. I can't say it enough. Pizza Girl was an icon of Disney, and it was a dream come true job. So very fun to be able to bring it back. Any tea from JonasCon? Here's some tea. Tyson Ritter, the lead singer from All American Rejects, they were there, and also Big Time Rush performed, or they came out for a surprise performance. And it was so crazy because I hear All American Rejects are there. They are one of my favorite bands. Literally, when I DJ emo night, I open up my set with Gives You Hell from the All American Rejects. And they're in the back. I can hear them doing vocal warm-ups. I assume it's Tyson, but I just can hear someone doing vocal warm-ups, right? And then he comes out, and I'm not going to say anything. You know, they're getting ready to perform. And he looks at me, and he was like, "Oh my God, it's you." And I'm like, oh, you're talking to me. And I could not believe it. He said him and his wife watch Vanderpump Rules. He asked me for a photo. And I'm like, dude, I've been a fan of your music for like, I don't know, 2 decades or more. I mean, back to high school. And I've already had my 20-year reunion years ago. So that's some tea. That was pretty cool. Then I got to see them perform and all the hits. It was incredible. So much fun. Saw them after. And overall, it was just such a great day. I'm so excited that I came out for this. I hope, this is the first of many Jonas Cons and Pizza Girl moments. So we'll see. Who is your fave Jonas bro? Can't pick a fave. Love them all. I've never actually had a favorite, but if I did, I don't know. I think Franklin would be my favorite now. How long have you been a Jonas Brothers fan? Since their first song. Literally having a sister who is 12 years younger than me, I was a fan of the Jonas Brothers from the time they came out. I was obsessed with Camp Rock. I felt like I was a little too old for it, but I had a little sister, so I was able to watch the High School Musicals and all of those types of movies and shows because I'm like, oh no, I'm just watching it with my sister, Hannah Montana, but secretly loved it. Also, I saw some questions came in about Victorious, and that was the same thing. I also write about this a bit in my book. But as someone who grew up and wanted to do Disney, do Nickelodeon, be one of those kids on TV, to get to live out that dream in my early 20s was a lot of fun. Doing Disney, doing Nickelodeon with Victoria Justice, who I watched on Zoe 101. Ariana Grande was on that show, which iconic. And also another job that I auditioned for. I saw people had asked how I booked these roles. It was my agent calling, telling me I had an audition, sending me the sides, me working with an acting coach, memorizing my lines, going in and crushing it. One thing though I think I didn't mention in the book is the reason I first got Botox was around my 90210 audition. And they called me back for it. They said they really liked me for the role, but my eyebrow did this weird thing and I needed to learn how to control my eyebrows on camera and to have more of a resting bitch face. They're like, this isn't Disney. This isn't Nickelodeon. We don't want you so animated. So if you can learn how to control your facial features, like the role is yours. So for that one, I just learned how to do it. And then my agent had said, there's a thing called Botox that just does it for you. So you're not having to actively think while you have your lines memorized that you're, giving to the casting director how to control your face. So I got Botox and then I booked Vanderpump Rules. And then my acting was just down the drain until I did Lopez versus Lopez recently. And that's one thing. I saw some other questions. Would you like to get back into acting? What's something you haven't done in your career? I would love to get back into acting, to be a series regular on a scripted show, sitcom. Lopez versus Lopez was so much fun. I would love to do more of that. Do you have any memories from filming Jonas? I do. I remember that Nick was so shy. He was like, I think 16 at the time. And there was one part where he had to grab my hand and pull me into, it was like a giant pizza box house, and he had to serenade me with his guitar and told me that he wrote a song for me. And I remember him being so nervous to grab my hand. And also it's like I felt awkward because I'm like, okay, I'm 23, you're this 16-year-old kid. I get it, we're acting, but you're having to pull my hand into this room. And I just remember he was so sweet, so cute, so young. Oh, what is something I do that you haven't done yet? I mean, really, when I joined Vanderpump Rules, I was booking consistent acting work at that time. And I really thought that this show, when I met with the executives, they said, we are hoping to highlight your careers that you're trying to get into in entertainment. However, that kind of followed me more in a side project with a single called What I Like that I had that was just for fun. I was never actually trying to be a pop star. I was never trying to take that seriously. It was just something I did for fun. And then Vanderpump Rules wanted to highlight that. And then I kind of became the, wannabe pop star one of the group. And that was never my dream. I enjoy doing music. I know I'm not the best at it, but that's something that I'm always going to have on the side. But acting was always my passion. So hopefully I can get back into that a little more. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break and then get right back into some of your questions. Okay, to all of you out there who have found your person, maybe it's the first time, maybe you're like me and it's the second time. It doesn't matter because what you need help with more than anything is working with the Knot because they're going to help with everything else once you've found your person. They connect you to the wedding inspo, the vendors, the venues, all of the planning tools you need to make your day totally you. Because your wedding day, that's what it is. It's one of those days where you can say, isn't this about me? What about me? It's all about you on your wedding day. And when it comes to your wedding, you've got ideas and the Knot has the connections to make it happen, from gathering inspo and scoring expert advice to finding your venue and figuring out your budget. They're going to connect you to all of the right people, right places, and all of the tools you need. Plus, the Knot makes it easy to keep your guests in the loop so you can focus on what really matters. Just celebrating your love with the people who mean the most. And this may be the first time, maybe not, but maybe it's the first time you're putting together something this big, this visible, and this meaningful. Well, the Knot is taking the guesswork out of it. Plan anywhere, anytime with the wedding planning app with the most 5-star reviews. The Knot has the most venues and vendors across any wedding site in any location. Let the Knot connect you to all of the people, places, and tools you need to help bring your wedding to life. Get started at theknot.com/audio. That's THEKNOT.com/AUDIO. And are you ready to optimize your nutrition this year like Brock and I are? Are you ready to get those amazing chef-made, curated gourmet meals that make eating well easy? Well, then I think I have the thing for you, and that is Factor. They're dietitian approved, ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes so you can fuel right, feel great, no matter what life throws at you. I'm telling y'all, Factor has made my life so much easier. I'm a busy mom. I'm a working mom. I don't always enjoy cooking. I very rarely enjoy cooking, if I'm being honest. My daughter and my husband love it. But for me, I love to open up my fridge, grab a Factor meal, chuck it in the microwave, poke a couple holes in it. Boom, 2 minutes, it's ready. It's so easy. You can even, take it on the go, take it on a road trip with you. You just heat it up at home, eat it in the car. At least that's what my husband does. Factor arrives fresh, fully prepared, perfect for any active, busy lifestyle like my own. And with 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week, it's easy to pick meals tailored to your goals. You can choose from preferences like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto. and they have something for everyone. So reach your goals this year with ingredients you can trust and convenience that can't be beat. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/goodasgold, 50 off, and use code goodasgold, 50 off, to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code goodasgold, 50 off at factormeals.com/goodasgold, 50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. All right, and we are back. Let's see. All right, questions about my friends. I love answering questions about other people. How is Brittany, and is she dating someone? Because see, here's the thing, not my business to say, but Brittany is great. When your ex-husband is Jax Taylor, that comes with its own challenges, but she's navigating best she can. She's got a great support system, so many amazing friends who are just rallying behind her, and she is one strong woman with everything that life has thrown at her. And by life, I mean Jax Taylor. She's really good. So, there's always going to be struggles when that's who you're dealing with, but Brittany is a star shining very bright. How are both Toms doing? Are they in serious relationships or not? I have no idea if Sandoval and Victoria are still together because I don't really talk to them. Schwartz, I was actually supposed to get brunch with him at Tom Tom the other day, but the timing didn't work out. Summer had a Parents and Me jiu-jitsu class around the same time. I took that with her. I'm literally so sore from it. This kid is very freaking strong. Very proud of her. But yeah, I was bummed we didn't get to see him because I know his brother Bert, who I adore, just moved to LA and they were going to Tom Tom, but they were running a little late. So I didn't get to see him. I have no idea the status of his relationship, if they're still together or not, because we haven't had time to catch up, but I love Schwartz. Do you think Ariana is ever going to get married? I don't know if she will ever get married. I could see them just doing, the Goldie Hawn thing and just being together forever. I mean, people don't need to get married. If there's other reasons you need to get married, sure, but you don't need to put it on paper. How do you feel about Kristen continuously making jabs at you on podcasts? Is she? News to me. I don't listen to any of the podcasts in our group. If I'm listening to a podcast, it's Chicks in the Office, it's Giggly Squad, it's more that genre. So I have not heard any jabs, but if I can assume, it's probably because she feels like I have shown up for Allie in a way that I never showed up for her. And here's the thing. I have grown so much since the early seasons of Vanderpump Rules. I have learned so much about addiction, about abuse cycles, about so many things that I was uneducated on over 10 years ago. I have shown up for Allie because I now know and understand so much more the ins and outs of her relationship. And I feel like for Kristen, it hurts that she sees me showing up for Allie in a way I didn't show up for her. But the way I see it is, aren't you proud of me for growing, for learning from my mistakes, for understanding how to be a better girlfriend, a better girl's girl? I mean, there's a reason Allie put me in her music video, Girl's Girl, because I am that. It's just a lot of the girls on Vanderpump Rules, other than Ariana in the beginning, these were not my friends. So when you throw me into a group of women who do not want me at their workplace, on their show, you're not really going to see that girl's girl Scheana. And with Kristen, that relationship, most of her relationships, all of them before Luke, were very toxic. And we're friends with both parties and we're getting both sides of the fights and every aspect of it. So it's hard when I'm hearing this from her, I'm hearing this from him. And eventually, it was just like, I don't want to be a part of this because it was very toxic. But now, James moved on with Raquel. He moved on with Allie. And these are two women who I felt very protective over. I felt like I needed to show up for them, maybe in ways that I didn't show up for Kristen. But the thing is, I've learned from my mistakes. I've grown, and I'm trying to be the best version of myself and the best friend to my friends. So I would hope, instead of making jabs at me on podcasts because I didn't show up 10 years ago, that you would instead just be proud of me for growing and showing up now. Maybe that's just me. Can you talk about how you did your hair through seasons of Vanderpump Rules? Obsessed with your season 7 hair. Thank you. Season 7 hair. I think that was my K-Tips year. Right? That was post Vegas. I think I had like the long stripper hair then. That was fun. But back then, I used to go to Dry Bar a lot because I am not good at doing my own hair. I can put it in a slick bun. I can straighten it. I can't really do anything else. The high ponies, that's one thing I'm good at too. But I would go to Dry Bar at least once, sometimes twice a week, get a blowout that would last for a few days. Or if my sister was over, I would have her do my hair. Anytime my hair looks good, it's usually my sister. I had so many comments asking me who did my hair with the Lady Gaga photos a couple weeks ago. And that was literally my sister. My hairstylist, Julius here, when he heard Priscilla was doing my makeup, 'cause she always does, he was like, oh, she didn't hit me up for hair. And when I saw him yesterday for hair, I told him, well, that's because I had my sister and she crushes it on the hair. So cut some layers, and that's about all I can do with my hair. A good cut, I feel like. I'm also thinking, comment below, should I go short again? I'm kind of wanting to chop it a little more. I might do a slow transition, go like another inch or two before I go full chop, but thinking about it, maybe for book tour. I don't know. Comment below. What should I do with my hair? Because I get bored and I need to do something different. I don't want to change the color anymore. Speaking of book, okay, what is your favorite chapter in your book? Ooh, that's a good question, and honestly, one that I think I'm going to need to think about more before I go on book tour, and I'm answering so many questions about the book because I don't know if I have a favorite chapter. There are things that I'm excited for y'all to get to know and hear more about my upbringing. That'll be exciting. I think I answer a lot of questions that people have always had that I've never really addressed, or maybe we have talked about it on the show and it just never aired. I remember there was a lot between Katie and I, season 9, a whole storyline that you never really saw, and just things that I was explaining to her. So I talk about a lot of that in the book, which I'm excited for you guys to get to know. I don't know if I have a favorite chapter. Maybe at the end, maybe the last chapter is my favorite, because that's kind of coming all together and just lessons that I've learned. And yeah, we'll see what's next. What's the next chapter? Did you name drop our high school in the book? Oh, I did. And there's a little special dedication at the end for all of my Amok girls. Would you ever get a dog? Did this question come in from my husband? Because, yes, eventually. I had always said, when we have a big house with a yard, we'll get a dog. Now we have a house with a yard, but I'm still not ready for a dog. And Brock really wants to get his chickens. So we'll stick with the cats for now, inside. Chickens eventually, outside, maybe. But as much as I love dogs and I would love for Summer to have a dog, we are very busy. We travel a lot, and dogs aren't like cats. You either have to board them or have someone to walk them. And the cats are very self-sufficient. I have someone stop by once a day, give them their wet food and their meds, and they're good. They have their dry food, their water, a litter robot. They're good to go. So eventually, I will say though, recently I came in contact with a dog named Panda, a rescue that my friend was fostering. And that dog was incredible, that I was like, oh my God, do we just keep the dog? I couldn't. And there was a family that this dog went to, and they're great down in San Diego, but that dog made me want a dog. So one day. What are the top qualities from both you and Brock that you hope Summer grows up to have? I hope that she has his strength and resilience and bravery and just is a really strong person, because she is like me, where she's sensitive, she's a perfectionist, and those are things that I'm always trying to tell her, like, honey, it's okay. If you get dirty, you get paint on your clothes, you fall down, you get back up, like, it's okay. But I also hope that she continues to have the compassion that I have and the empathy. That's one thing she feels so deeply at the young age of almost 4. And I hope that she always keeps that. What do you see Summer doing as an adult? What do you think she'll be? She has stuck to, I want to be a painter for a little over a year now, but now she's saying she wants to be a doctor painter. And I'm like, okay, so you're a doctor who paints in your free time? She's like, no, a doctor painter. I'm like, okay, I don't know what a doctor painter is, but if you want to be a doctor and a painter, by all means, do the thing. I think that we're going to have her do this after school arts thing next year when she's like in pre-K. They do an arts class, I've heard, every Tuesday after school. So I want her to do that because she absolutely loves painting, coloring, drawing. I've posted how incredible she writes her name. And okay, so I know some people in my life aren't fond of all of the tattoos that I have and I'm getting. I got my new bat tattoo as a tribute to Bat on The Masked Singer, but also just to remind myself every day when I look at this that I can do hard things, that I can be in situations that make me uncomfortable and accomplish really great things and not be afraid. But also, someone had a great idea the other day and they're like, what if you took your daughter's handwriting now and turned that into a tattoo? So that might be a new one because her writing is so cute, and to have that writing at this age on me forever might be the next one. Stay tuned. How's your mental health lately? It's actually been pretty good. So I'm on currently 50 milligrams of sertraline, is generic for Zoloft. The only thing is it's making me grind my teeth at night, and I really don't want to wear a mouth guard. Started on 25, went up to 50, then went down to 37.5, trying to just find the right dosage. I'm grinding my teeth no matter what. My psychiatrist said that on average, people are taking 75 to 100 milligrams, and maybe that's the goal. I'm like, I don't know that the goal is necessarily to take more, but we're doing the 50 for now. I still have the intrusive thoughts, but I'm not having the same reactions that I usually have, where I can be obsessing over the same thing on a loop in my head over and over. I even talked about this a little bit on my vlog from Puerto Rico last week. But I feel like I'm now able to process that easier. I'm able to shut it out. I'm not crying at the thought of all of these crazy things maybe happening, maybe not. They're just intrusive thoughts. So keeping that in, but also this is exactly why I talk about this. So last night I was out with Scheana Bador for her birthday, and one of her friends came up to me and thanked me for talking about my OCD on the show, because he realized that that's what he has. And now he's been diagnosed and now he's on medication. And I'm like, obviously I'm sorry that you deal with this as well, but I'm like, this is exactly why I talk about it. The amount of people who have said like, oh my God, so much of what you said on the show resonated with me. And I realize it's not depression, it's not anxiety, it is OCD. And there's so many different layers to OCD that people don't realize. It's not just being clean and organized. It's the intrusive thoughts. It's the obsessing over the same thing over and over. It was when I was in Puerto Rico. I wake up that morning. I'm totally awake, well rested. Brock is going down to start his Ironman. And he was like, okay, meet me at the first transition. That was the plan. Could I have gotten up from bed and walked down with him and been there from the beginning? Sure. I don't know why I didn't. I think it was just because the plan was to meet at the transition. And so I just go back to bed for an hour. I'm like, okay, I'll just see you after the swim. Good luck. And then I get up, I'm getting ready, and the other wives and girlfriends were down there from the beginning for the swim. And I just start obsessing over, well, I should have been there. This is his first Ironman. Why didn't I go downstairs? Why didn't I go get content? I missed all of this. And then I missed him jumping in the water and then getting out. And I just literally for like 2 hours, I was obsessing over it. And I messaged one of the girls and she was like, Scheana, do not feel guilty. We had no idea we were going to be able to be down there to see them. And I'm like, well, can you send me the content so I can at least feel like I was there? But for a couple hours until I saw him at the next transition, I was just obsessing over this. And I'm like, this is OCD. It's not like I need to have my hotel room perfectly in order. That's a part of it. That's a layer. But it's just the obsessing over the thing over and over. And so by the end of the day, I was not obsessing over that anymore. I was there for every other aspect of the day. I was there at the finish line with him. And now I know for the next time, maybe I do just get up and go down. If I can see him at the beginning, great. If I can get content, great. If not, whatever, I was still there. So that's my mental health lately. We might go up to 75 milligrams because if I'm already grinding my teeth, I don't know, what's another 25? But we'll determine that at my next check-in with my doc. And yep, how is your anxiety OCD? So on medication, answered that. What supplements do you use for your postpartum OCD? Right now, I'm just on Zoloft or sertraline. I haven't taken anything else. I've done EMDR therapy, which I haven't done in a while. I'm probably due for another session. But I feel like just through therapy, couples therapy, writing my book, it's been very therapeutic and cathartic just getting all of that out. So I haven't done another EMDR session, but I do feel due for that soon. Do you have a business? How do you support yourself? I'm doing my business right now. I'm doing my podcast. I wrote a book. I'm on a TV show. I have brand deals. I support myself just fine. But I mean, do I have a business? I guess I'm a free agent, you know? I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businesswoman. I'm just me. I'm Scheana. So that's my business. Will you do a tattoo tour? Will you be getting more? Well, you already know what my next one's going to be. I'm also going to, what I want to do eventually, and I know, again, not everyone in my life agrees, but I kind of want this to be a bit of a scattered sleeve. The next one I do, I want to do a crescent moon here with a profile of Summer's face, like in the moon. I also want to get my grandmother's handwriting. She had the most beautiful script somewhere. And if you go on my YouTube, it was, wow, probably almost 5 years ago now, because it was shortly after my miscarriage when I got my poppy flower for the baby I lost. I did do a tattoo tour, and I've only gotten a few more since then. Since then, I've gotten, I guess, well, the honey, the apple, and I do have Summer's name on me. But I guess I could always do a recent or a new tattoo tour, but that is on my YouTube. I talk about all my good and bad decisions. You know, when you're 18 and trying to piss off your ex-boyfriend, sometimes you get a tramp stamp of a fairy. Would I do that again? No. Would I get live, laugh, love on my ribs again? No. But it was a decision I made, and it was a permanent one, and I don't want to remove them because I've heard it's very painful, like way more painful than laser hair removal. So we're just going to live with those decisions for the rest of my life. How many tattoos do you have? Would you consider getting a summer tattoo? Yeah, so I have that. I think I counted the other day. I said 30, but I think I'm at maybe like 26 or 27. I don't know, because there's also a lot where this one, for example, I just got the star, then I added my initials. There's so many that I've added to that I don't know how many times I've been tattooed, probably close to 30. What is your middle name? That's an interesting question. Marie. I used to just go by Scheana Marie before I was Scheana Shay, and I know everyone has an issue with my name still being Scheana Shay, but we've talked about that on a previous podcast. Do you like to be approached in public? I saw you Monday at Caribe Hilton and I wish I said hi. I wish you said hi too. I never mind being approached in public. Come up, say hi, ask for a photo, give me a hug, all of the things. The only thing is if I'm like mid-meal, maybe just wait till I'm done eating so I'm not like taking a photo with a mouthful because no one wants that. But no, I love meeting you guys. That was the most fun part about yesterday was just getting to meet so many people. It was a blast. What is your favorite Lady Gaga album song? I'm obsessed with Mayhem right now. Oh my God, there are so many good songs on it. I think Zombie Boy is probably my favorite. I love the way it starts. I love the 80s aspect of this album. It is incredible. It's one of the few albums that I'm just listening to on repeat from start to finish. There's no songs that I want to skip. They're all just 5-star. You said on Masked Singer you were the villain of VPR, but I never saw you as one. Why do you think you were? So I don't think I've ever necessarily been the villain. I said I was villainized. I also didn't write that script myself, but I feel like I've just been portrayed as not, the fan favorite. I've been shown in not the best light. So that's what I meant when I said that. But no, I don't think I'm necessarily the villain. I think we all know who the villains of EPR have been. What's the most embarrassing thing you did this week? So I was asked to bring, books, a QR code, a poster, whatever, just so people could scan that, pre-order the book easily at JonasCon. And I'm just taking all of my stuff back for the day, but I'm standing there literally with a giant poster board of my face, which I guess, on brand for Scheana. But when the Jonas Brothers and their wives are getting out of the car, I'm like, hi. So, that was kind of embarrassing, but also on brand. But that is all the questions for me this week. Thank you all for listening, for watching. I hope you have a great week. And if you haven't pre-ordered my book, My Good Side, it is available for pre-order at mygoodsidebook.com. And I cannot wait for you guys to read this. I cannot wait to go on book tour. This is just all a dream come true. And thank you for everything, for all of the support. You guys are incredible. You keep me going. And I will keep going next week. We'll be back. Bye.
Searching for this all my life.